What's going on, everyone? How you all doing today? It is, what is it? It is Tuesday, August 17th, and it's 10 a.m. here in Baltimore, and we're coming to you live. And yeah, so how's it going? We are, now why in the world people want to call me? I don't know. Well, too late. You gotta wait for an hour. Okay, so anyway, so we're here doing it again, and nice to see all of you out here there today. And Humble Barista said, set as a reminder, and thank you very much. I hope that's you out there. We'd like to see you. So if you have any questions about coffee, feel free to drop them in the comments below. Happy to answer them for you. I'm Jay Caragay from Spro Coffee here in Baltimore, on the East Coast of the United States, and it's been a bit of a discombobulating morning. Like, I had a bit of a disaster. Like about an hour ago, I was preparing breakfast, which was just going to be a bagel and some cream cheese, so really simple. And I was unloading stuff from the truck, and then I had this paint can fall out, and the paint broke, and oh man, it's been a mess. It's been a mess. So it took like a good 40 minutes just to fix that and clean it all up, and so that's all settled now. So I've been a little bit behind, but how's your day or morning coming along? Good to see you. And yeah. So what are we going to do today? Today on the live stream, we are going to be talking more about coffee. We're going to be brewing some coffee today. Today we're going to be brewing the Corazon de Jesus Finca El Salitre. And this is a high-grown coffee, 2,000 meters, from Costa Rica in a region called Chiripo, which is about 5 hours north of, not 5 hours north, but 5 hours, kind of north, but 5 hours outside of San Jose, the capital. And you might, if you were watching last week if you're watching the restream, and you're wondering, oh, was this the coffee we used last week? This is the same coffee, but I figured we'd try it on a different brewing method so that we would get a nice idea of what it's like. And so if you're interested in coffee, like, you can find it on our website, sprocoffee.com. Yeah. All right, so now let us take our brewer. And the brew we're using, like I said, the brew we are using today is the Abid Clever. The Abid Clever is, well, fairly recent. I mean, it's been out for just over 10 years, 12 years maybe, and Chinese made, I think, or made in Taiwan. And it looks like this. Oh. This is the Clever brewer, and for some reason it's chroma-ing. I wonder if I should adjust that. Let's see if I can adjust that so it doesn't chroma as much. Oh, 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 right there, right at the edge. Okay, good. All right, so now you can see the whole thing. It's chroming a little bit right here, especially if I pull my hand away. This is the problem with green screen technology, right? Okay, so the Clever is an interesting device. It's kind of got this shape of like a conical brewer. It has the ribbing of a conical brewer. And the ribbing, of course, is to keep the paper filter off of the surface and give a little bit of a place for liquid, the brewed coffee, to flow through. So straight, and then the big difference is that it has this valve, right? There's this valve here at the bottom that when you set it on top of a cup, it compresses the valve and opens it, allowing the liquid to flow through. Okay, that's the big thing about the Clever, and it's what we call a hybrid brewer. As you can see, there's a little valve here down in the center, right? And it's great because it's hybrid, meaning that it uses full immersion, very much like a French press would. I'll do it this way, right? So there's full immersion like a French press. So we're going to add a filter, add coffee, add water, fill it to the top, and then let it steep, much as you would in a French press. However, instead of pressing like a French press, once the brew is finished, we'll take the Clever and place it on top of a cup, and that will allow the liquid to flow through the filter. Now, with the filter in place, it's going to hold back all of of course, the coffee, the minor sediments, and the essential oils. So you're getting the filtration of a pour over with the brewing of a French press, but without all the sediment and oils. So if you're not a fan of sediment and oil in your coffee, then this might be the way for you to go. Oh, that blue is really starting to irritate me. Let's see if we can trim that out just a bit. Okay, better. All right, so now, not perfect. I wonder what... Anyway, let's get to it. So to make this work, we're just going to use the standard Melita number 4 filter, right? Very simple. Now the number 4 filter, as you can see, maybe you can't see because it's just so bright. Anyway, there's a crimped, they have two of the edges here are crimped, right? So in order for it to seat nicely, we just fold those over. I tend to use opposing folds. You can do same side folds, meaning opposing and the folding is like that, right? You can use same side, you can use however you want. But this just allows the paper filter to sit more snugly in the clever, right? And again, if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments below. Be happy to answer them for you. Now, for this particular recipe, we're going to be making a 12-ounce cup, which is 350 mils of coffee. And so in order to do that, we're going to use our typical ratio here at Spro, which is 2 grams of coffee for every finished ounce. So for a 12-ounce serving, we're going to use 24 grams of ground coffee. And so I've got that right here. So I've already pre-ground I've already pre-ground the Corazon Jesus. It's got light tropical notes, brightness, even like a little dancing brightness on the nose. Very nice. All right, so we're gonna put that in here. I just put it in there. I do a medium coarse. I like to get a little bit more extraction, right? There we are. So then we just kind of level it out, right? And then we're going to take our water. Here at the roastery, we don't really do we don't have fancy equipment, so all we have is kettles that we brew with and actually boil with. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to set our timer first for 3 minutes. Right? We're going to count down because we want to limit the time of exposure to the coffee. So now we're going to start our timer and just add a little bit for saturation while starting the timer. So we're going to add about 80 mils. And we're going to let that steep for about 30 seconds or so. This is, of course, to wet the coffee bed and begin the extraction. Then some of the coffee will float to the top of the liquid, and we'll then use water to break that back down because we want to keep all of the coffee saturated. So if you haven't tried this before, we want all the coffee to be saturated. All right, so that's about good. And we're going to fill it up right about there. That's going to give us about a 350 milliliter serving. And we're going to wait. Now it comes with a clever cover. We're going to put that on just to retain the heat, and while we wait, we only have another maybe 1 minute 45 seconds left to go. So how are things in your part of the world? Good? Things here have been pretty exciting. I've been working on expansion here at our roastery. We got some expanded space so we can move things around and really reshape our roasting space into something really like nice and cleaner, more open, a better place where we can welcome guests to come in and visit or do trainings with us. bring on more clients so they can, learn about coffee, bring their staff over here. We can work with them on espresso making and brewing. So it's going to be it's going to be a nice change. It also gives us more room for like workbenches so we can do repairs as well as, just more general shipping. So I've been working on that. We just got the expanded space. We just got possession of it last week. Almost a week now, probably on Wednesday. Well, yeah, a week. Yeah, it's been a week now. So it's been just a mad scramble to try to get that all working. Oh, another thing I should mention is that the clever, while you notice this is a new clever, so it's really clean, but over time the clever will get a little bit tarnished. And this is one we've had for several years. As you can see, that it gets some staining from the coffee and from use. And now these are the ones we actually use at the cafe. So these are being beat on, daily. So this has made thousands and thousands of coffees over years. Like, and it's this one we probably had, I don't know, 3-4 years, maybe 2 years. I don't know, but we've had it for a long time, and it lasts. They last well, and even though it's not so pretty at the moment, okay, so we're at 3 minutes now. And we're going to use our little kettle here. And simply place the valve on top, and it opens the valve and allows the liquid to flow through. Now, ideally, you want to have the grind such that, it'll take about 35-45 seconds or so to flow through. So if your total brew time is still going to be about 3.5 to 4 minutes, that's not changing. Ooh, I wonder why it's like that. Look at the color here. This is not it's not as clean as Zoom, is it? All right, so it just takes a few moments. Rolling down. All right, excellent, excellent. So that's pretty much it. It does it all. And then, there's a bit more. And of course, the nice thing is that cleanup is pretty simple. You just got it like this, and you can just dump it out. I tend not to dump it out. I just go to the toilet, go to the gosh, not the bath. I go to the trash can and dump it out. All right, so now we've got our coffee. We're just going to pour it in to our glass, mug, cup, whatever you want to call it. Kind of nice, warm aromas on the nose. Like really inviting, kind of like that warm, rounded coffee nose aroma. Still on the hot side, sparkly on the tongue. The acidity is pretty nice and like a lot of good effervescence, kind of like very much of a champagne-like. Everything's beeping. Not bad, not bad. Not bad. So if you would like to try some of this coffee, we've got it here on our website. And let me show you how to get there. So here we are. This is our website, sprocoffee.com. You just kind of scroll down here to shop. Click on shop, and this particular one you can see it's kind of featured as the category image, but this is the Corazon de Jesus Finca El Salitre, lot number 25, made by Johnny Alvarado up in Chiripo, Costa Rica. Gosh, I'm so like off today. But here we also have a bunch of selections here for you to see. A lot of great coffees. Now, all of them we source directly from the farmers. So our single origins really are just lovely coffees, and I'm really excited to have them here for you guys. But yeah, that's it. That's it. That's good. So what's going on in the coffee world? Anything interesting? Let's have a look here. Let's see what people are talking about. Anything interesting? The SCA is having their event in New Orleans at the end of September, and a bunch of people have been pulling out that aren't going to be attending because here in the United States, we're having a resurgence of the Delta variant of the COVID, and it's wiping people out. It's wiping a lot of people out. Like they say now here in the United States that in many states, the amount of hospitalized people is greater than during the height of the pandemic prior to the release of the vaccines. So that's pretty crazy. You know, it's like, well, you know. Some people like to say that God will protect them, God will provide. Well, God is calling some of them home. Cheers. Anything interesting? Let's look here on the... Gosh, I guess there's not much going on. You'd hope that there's some kind of thing, you know, something going on that would be interesting. But there's no real, nothing's really happening in the industry. I guess there's nothing happening because, well, there's nothing going on. Very strange. I'm looking at, let's look here together. Here we are. I'm looking at Sprudge to see what they've got going on. Get a boost from coffee, sneakers made from coffee. Scintillating. Coffee might be shrinking your brain. Well, it may be shrinking your brain, but it's supposed to give you longer life. So that's, I guess, oh, here we are. The 2022 World Coffee Champions return to Melbourne, Warsaw. So we didn't get to go to Melbourne. We're supposed to go to Melbourne in 2020. And that didn't happen because, well, of course. And then Warsaw, Poland. That'll be interesting. New study finds the largest coffee brands aren't paying producers a living wage. That's true. That's why we don't go with those guys. Oh, 3 World Coffee Champs head to Milan. 3 others get postponed. Yeah, that's true. So they're having the World Barista Championship in Milan on October 22nd. And they've asked us to come and judge that, but I don't know. One of the problems right now, let's say the, which one do they have there? They have, they're doing the World Barista Championship. They're doing, I guess, World Latte Art, Coffee Spirits. No, I don't know. I'm not really good at reading on that. Oh, here we are. Last World Barista Championship, Brewers Cup. Oh, there it is. The World Barista Championship, World Brewers Cup, and World Cup Tasters Championship. They featured at Host Milano. So that's good. I mean, but the problem is that, you know, the COVID has been bad, and it's pretty bad all over the world. And like a lot of the judges that I know that normally would come are not going to be able to go. A lot of the champions that would have been represented will not be able to go either because their country won't let them leave, or Europe won't allow them to come in, or a combination of both, or even to the point where some of our friends down in Australia are talking about how they would have to quarantine prior, quarantine after, and it just sounds like a total mess. So a lot of people will not be going to those championships, both I think as the champions representing their countries, as well as the judges that would be evaluating their performances. So, if you happen to be one of those people that is a competitor, this perhaps may be the best year for you to go, because maybe there will be a few competitors. So that's not too bad. I was really disappointed that they canceled Taiwan, because I was actually hoping we could have gone to Taiwan. I like Taiwan. Very nice, very nice. But they've got more problems too. Everyone has problems with this COVID thing. It's really, yeah. And so the SCA is having their expo in New Orleans, and that should be interesting. I'm wondering what's going to happen there. And I guess they're taking the World Latte Art Coffee and Good Spirits and Roasting that we're going to be in Taiwan. I think they're going to put that into, let's see, they're putting that, is that what they're putting there, into Melbourne? So World Barista Championship, World Brewers Cup heading to Melbourne, Australia. September 27th to 30th. Oh, okay. So now in September. We were going to go in May. Now it's September. Warsaw, World Latte Art Championship, World Coffee Good Spirits. Huh. Well, it is nice to go. It would be nice to go visit Australia finally. I've not been there yet. What else are they saying is happening? How is climate change impacting coffee? It's pushing a lot of the coffee to higher elevations, which is a problem. What else happening? Oh, that's right. We had a big frost. Frost hits coffee growers. I don't know how bad that's going to be. People were really worried when that happened a couple weeks ago, and it may impact like 50% of the crops. Coffee can really help you overcome sleep deprivation. Huh. Interesting. What is Kona coffee and how to come to Hawaii? Guatemala, Tipica, and then became big there. Coffee experts explain why coffee makes you pee. Oh, excellent. Coffee leaf rust fears rise as new aggressive fungus variants discovered. Well, so as COVID gets worse, so does the coffee fungus. Oh, these are interesting problems in an interesting world today. All right, so the coffee is going well. It's got a nice light, so we would roast this a little bit lighter than most coffees, and it's got a light body and a juicy kind of characteristic. That kind of champagne-like acidity has kind of smoothened out a little bit. I guess much like the carbon dioxide in a champagne will dissipate over a period of time, kind of happening there. Let's see. I'm looking here for. All right, let's have a look at some other ideas that people may have. All right, here's one for you. This is an interesting question. All right, so I participate in this forum online called Home Espresso Aficionados, and every once in a while they ask, well, there's always a lot of questions being happening. So this guy Daniel Feldman asked, what is the cheapest, most cost-efficient way to get the perfect espresso at home? We're not going to worry too much what everybody else writes because sometimes it gets a little bit crazy. But the perfect espresso, like I don't know what Daniel's thinking about here, but as far as cost, however, I do think that you can make nice espresso. Now, there's a lot of espresso machines out there, all kinds of price points. And the thing about those espresso machines is let's say you're in the $800, sub $1,000 category for espresso machine. There's a lot of nice machines that'll do the work, and you can get good results with a fair amount of finesse, right? But if you want something that's really going to do the job that you want it to do, how can we make this smaller? Maybe that's still the best way. No, that's not the best way. All right, let's go back to this. So if you wanted, how can I put that in that lower window? All right, I guess we'll leave it there. All right, so if you want to make espresso at home in the most cost-efficient way, I think you probably have to spend at least let's say $2,500. If you could spend $2,500, you can get yourself a fantastic espresso machine. And let's have a look. Let's go look at, let me get rid of these. It's all in the way here. Is it first line? So I bought my first espresso machine from First Line, and I'll switch that over here. So what we're looking for is dual boiler. Yeah, dual boiler is nice. Let's say dual boiler. Okay, let's not say those. Those are crazy. Okay, let's go down here. Here we go. VBM. Oh, here. Let's choose this. The Lilith. I don't know. Let's go with the VBM. All right, here we are. Sidewalk sale VBM Domo Bar Super Dual Boiler version 3.5 espresso machine showroom demo for $1,200. List price is $2,700, so you're getting a heck of a deal. But why the VBM, right? The VBM is actually a great manufacturer in Italy. They do nice quality machines, all from these type of home or quote-unquote prosumer machines all the way up to full-on commercial multi-group head machines. And here's some of the features that I like about this machine, and I'm only just looking at it for the very first time now. This is why I would favorite, $1,200. You've got the E61 group head, which is this part here, right? This is the E61 group head right there. And the E61 is just a classic, developed by FEMA in 1961 for their model. And it's just got a lot of nice heat retention because of really thick brass. And this one uses the traditional lever. As you can see here, this is the traditional lever. You pull it up, and then it opens the valve and allows the coffee to flow through, the water to flow through the portafilter. And it looks like it has a hot water tap as well as steam wand. And this type of machine should have plenty of power to really give it to really be able to hit everything you need. Meaning that it's going to have, what is it that say the boiler capacity? Oh, liters. No. I mean, it's going to generate the 8 bars that you need for brewing the coffee, as well as the 1.5 bars for steaming milk. And if this one has dual boilers, so 2 separate boilers, one for brewing, one for steam, this should be able to make drinks for you nonstop and just really give you something that's awesome for the home. And that's $1,200. And then let's say you pair that with, Let's see, what grinders do they have here? Let's say you just go with a mini. Let's say the Monster Mini. That's a classic. I would say a Monster Mini, or maybe even these ECM, or even the Mac Cap. Maybe one of these, I would say, are good grinders to go with. You know, I know for sure the Monster is good and solid because I've used Monsters for a long time, and pretty much a mini like that will. For most home users, I don't think you'll ever get away from that. And Rusty says, what's going on, Rusty? Good to see you. James Hoffman just did a post on Instagram. If it's possible to set up a good home espresso with a used machine and a budget. Yeah. I mean, I imagine that James probably, I haven't seen that video, but I'm sure James found a way to make it work. But here's the thing, like, the thing that, if you, just in case you might be joining us just now, Rusty, this is where it comes from. So this guy, Daniel Feldman on Home Espresso Aficionados, which is a site that I follow or participate in, asked the question, what is the cheapest cost-efficient way to get the perfect espresso? And, you know, the thing is that we can do all kinds of things like the $250 budget and get really cheap machines and really, like, work it. But that's the thing, as you know, you really have to work it in order to get even that Rancilio Rocky to sing, or Sylvia to sing. You've got to really, you got to spend a lot of time. And of course you have to spend a lot of time on any kind of equipment that you have as far as learning it and getting it to work. But I think when you get to, if you spend a certain amount of money, like let's say buy this machine, this kind of level of machine, it's just going to make that so much easier. Like I have my very first machine was very similar to this. It was what they call the La Valentina. It also has an E61 group head. It's more of a semi-automatic, meaning that it has dose control and it does not use the lever on the side of the group head. So it's not as sexy as this one. Like this is like old school sexy. Mine was more new school sexy. And so, but I found that it was much easier to learn how to make great espresso on a machine that it's a little more advanced. So to me, it's just more about spending some, if you can have the budget, and in this case, I'm talking about $2,500. If you have a good budget, then you can buy machines that will make the learning curve smoother. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think. That's my thought. I don't know. What do you think, Rusty? I think he ended up buying a used Gaji on eBay because if you do need parts, oh, that's a good point. That's a good deal. I wonder which one he got. All right. Now you've piqued my interest. Let's go see the Hoff do his thing. James Hoffman, that British guy. Oh, the $2.99 Aldi espresso machine, that one? Well, that's a year ago, though. Let's see, maybe I'll go with the other one. Here, I'll share the screen with you guys. So here we are. James Hoffman. He wants people to eat coffee pucks. I guess he's making some kind of cookie out of it. Or, I don't know what he's doing. Hopefully he's putting to use some of that fat duck time. Has he released that thing yet, or is it somewhere else? Third post does he have a different YouTube channel? Sneaky. Oh, Instagram. All right. On Instagram. Now you get to see my comic book store. Jim 7. I picked up an espresso machine on eBay to find out what the process of modifying it was like. Oh, nice. All right, let's see. Okay, let's see. Open it. Gotcha. Look at that steam wand. What is that all about? But here's the thing. So, like, that's a great idea, right? It's a great idea to do this. And the thing is, how much work is he going to have to do on this machine in order to make it work, or make it work well? But more importantly, now you're talking about a guy, James, who has, he's been in the game almost as long as I've been in the game, I think. So you've got a guy that's making coffee now for at least 17 years, right? Maybe 18, 19. And someone like him, or any of us that have been in the game this long working on espresso, are going to be able to more readily work these machines than most people at home. But, you know, I think it's a good thing. It'd be it's an interesting thing. If you can buy a Gagio or like a cheap machine and rework it, then more power to you. But I do think that just spend the money on a nicer machine, such as this, and then you don't have to worry about it. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Yeah, good. What am I doing here? I'm just sitting here, just not doing much of anything, looking at the internet. Hey, man, King Wong Kong 2, good to see you. How are things in the UK? Glad you got to check in with me here and finally catch up. I did see your comments. I just haven't had the chance to respond. We've actually been working on a lot of different things here in Baltimore. We, of course, closed down the retail shop in Hamden. Oh, look at the, this thing is just a little bit crazy. Let me readjust the green screen. I have to find the right balance between not having that blue chromed and then not chroming myself out. Oh, see, like that. Ooh, oh, it's like Kirk and Spock. How do I find that right spot? Anyway, that's a bit crazy. But yeah, so we and then, like I said earlier in the broadcast, that we've been expanding the roastery. So we got new space here at the roasting, and so we've been expanding into that. We got with the space we got from the landlord, and so it's just been I've decided that I'm going to slow down on the production of the videos just during August, just while I catch up on everything, and then yeah, we're back to it soon. It's kind of nice, huh? It kind of works pretty well. And the rest he says, by the way, saw David Walmy yesterday at Roto. Oh, excellent. How's he doing? He says hello and told about the stories. Oh, is he a big... Oh, excellent. Maybe he'll tune in and join us there. That'd be good. Oh, by the way, Rusty, speaking of which, and of course, if any of you other viewers are interested and watching, we're going to be taking the... So every Thursday night, I do another live stream on my other channel. So this is the Spro Coffee channel. The other channel is called Ono Coffee. And on that channel, every Thursday night at 8 p.m., we do another coffee live stream, but it's really coffee and cigars, so it's both together. And then we talk a bit about coffee and a lot more about cigars typically. But we're going to take that show on the road, like I mentioned that last week on the broadcast. But for sure now we're going to be doing it. It looks like it's going to be for sure on September 9th. We're going to be traveling up to New Jersey to host the show at the Davidoff Lounge there. So Rusty, put that into your calendar. And anybody else who wants to come join us live in New Jersey, I can't think of the name of the. Oh, we'll post about it soon. Oh, thank you very much, man. I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Do I think Belgium is a hoax? I love Belgium. Belgium's a great place. No, I'm so glad you're enjoying it. I'm so glad you're enjoying it. Always glad to have you, even on the replay. Always good. You know, I get these people on the stream, like last week they were on the stream and they were coming on asking if I, they always wonder if I think Belgium is a hoax. I don't know why they ask that kind of thing. First, the last week they started off with the whole like, hey, your audio's bad. I got that covered there, buddy. Actually, I saw some guy on Aaron Parecki's stream. He came out with that. He's like, there's something wrong with your audio. And I was like, oh, here can these guys come on his stream too? Humble Barista, how are you, man? Good to see you. Are you out in Manila right now, or is that right, Manila? And then Rusty says, yes, at the tobacco shop in Ridgewood, New Jersey. Yes, excellent, excellent. Yeah, it's called Tobacco Shop, right? And we talked about in that one episode where they had, where we showed pictures of their lounge. Just beautiful looking place. So does your coffee shop to the UK? Oh, ship to the UK. You know what? Let me check on that. I have to check with our settings here in the website to see how that's handled, if we do or not. I really, to be honest with you, I really don't know if we do, because I haven't seen that. But if not, we'll try to find a way to get some to you. So, like I said before, we're smoking the Corazon de Jesus, the Finca El Salitre. Oh, man. We need to stop using this chrome. Look, you can see the. Ooh. All right, that's just a bit ridiculous. I wonder though, but it does make me wonder why these people ask the question. Like, what's with the whole? Do I think Belgium is a hoax? I wonder what that means. Do I think Belgium is? Let's see. Do you think Belgium is a hoax? I don't know why they asked that. I have no idea. That just doesn't make any. Maybe Flemish secession. That's not my fight. What I like about Belgium is in Brussels, there's a great place called Le Bon Humeur, the Good Humor, and they make lovely mussels and frites, fantastic. And then of course they got the pretzels, well, not the pretzels, but the waffles. Oh, yeah, that's good. And Humble says, yes, I'm here in Manila already. Good to see you. Good to see you, man. So you left Riyadh finally, huh? That's all right. That's all right. Will you be going back? I know I haven't been back. I haven't been back to Riyadh. Riyadh was my last trip in December of 2019. So after that last time that I was there, man, I haven't been anywhere. I kind of, actually at the beginning of 2020, I thought, let me push my travel back some so that I can have some time after Christmas and whatnot, and the early part of the year. My niece's birthday's in January, so I wanted to take a little time, and we were going to start up in March again, and then the pandemic started. Actually, it was for me, it was like I was scheduling to do both Riyadh and Africa, Uganda. But as the pandemic started in by February, I was already starting to get worried. Like I told my staff at the end of February that I think the pandemic's going to get really bad, and I think it's going to spread worldwide, and I think we're going to get shut down. And I remember I sent a memo out to my staff at the end of February. I said, hey, look, you need to, this is probably going to get worse. And if they do come to shutting the business down, then you'll have no way to make money. We'll have to make money. So make sure that you don't go crazy with your paychecks right for the time being. And yeah, it was interesting. So now we've been home, haven't been anywhere. Go figure. All right, so this is the coffee. So any questions you guys might have about coffee or brewing or anything like that, happy to talk to you about them, maybe work something out. If not, let's continue on looking to see if there's any other things we can answer. Here's one for us. Tessa Tooley is asking if I just want to make lattes, macchiatos, and Americanos at home. Do any espresso aficionados have recommendations for a simple, budget-friendly, automatic, or something easy to figure out espresso machine with frother? Don't need a grinder. Oh, don't need a grinder. All right. Right on. Well, that's probably the one we should be referring to is James's Instagram post, right, Rusty? So we can buy themselves a used Gaja and find a way to rebuild it. What are the key considerations to prevent spitting when using a naked portafilter? So, if you're not familiar with what he's talking about, this guy's asking is the naked portafilter, of course, has no bottom, so you can see the bottom of the basket that holds the coffee. And I saw this last night and I wanted to answer it, but I was like, oh, I'm not going to say anything because I might say something snarky. But the key considerations prevent spitting so the spitting is when it's kind of shooting out, right? Like there's the flow and then there's the shooting out. I mean, the key consideration is distribution, proper distribution. Get your coffee worked in. And here's something, I don't know about you guys, but have you seen these, what do they call them? They basically are rakes. And so some people have taken like corks and they put these like needles, sewing needles in them, and they use that as some kind of raking device in their portafilter. Do you guys do that? Anybody do that here? But anyway, to prevent the spitting, the channeling is indicative of channeling and is just indicative that your distribution is off. So if you practice distribution, really understand and analyze how to move the coffee around to cover the basket, that should eliminate the spraying. Oh, here we go. This is one person needs a Mazda Mini Espresso grinder, $350. Good deal. Good deal. Only ask about grind quality. What grinder do you think provides the best quality of grind under $500? Taking away any workflow. Okay, what grinder do you think provides the best quality of grind for under $500? Well, just scroll up there, buddy. Look at that. There it is, $350. Here's something. Nicholas Dobson says, a long-time lurker, first-time poster. Planning on $2,500 to $3,000 for a setup. Grinder and espresso machine recommendations, please. It'll probably be 2 milk-based drinks a day. I'm partial to Rocket for the style, and folks really seem to like them. But here's the thing that I don't know. I don't understand. The first thing he says, long-time lurker, first-time poster. So if you've been a long-time lurker and you've just been reading all the posts and not really talking and not really saying too much, but just reading and absorbing, wouldn't you have your answer by now? Wouldn't you already know, okay, this is what instead of being like, what is your recommendation? Be like, okay, this is, after being a long-time lurker, this is what I want to get. What do you guys think? I mean, I don't know. This is a little bit of my my sassiness in the mind. Here we are, Lavazza from Amazon. Nice, nice. A Turin grinder, nice. A lot of people in this group like the niche. Oh, Cafe Fin. Or Fin Cafe. What is that? Duomo, when you clean, do you push the handle right down so it touches the bottom and down the housing? What in the world is that? What are you cleaning? Anybody know what this guy's cleaning? I'm gonna have this. Steve Martin said that. I don't even know what that is. I don't even know what that is. Let's see. Anything else? Anything else? Ooh, latte art resting unicorn in paper cup. Oh, that's cute. Love that. I love that. I'm always impressed by these baristas that are like, that can do these really, really intricate latte art. Like when I judge the latte art championships, man, it's just sometimes you see these guys and they're like super meticulous. Beautiful work. Beautiful work. I don't know about you, Humble. How about you? Do you have that ability to? You can do that kind of stuff, right? It seems that most of the Filipino baristas that I know from the Philippines can actually do really like amazing latte art. Dunn shared your live to my community. Oh, thank you very much. Have bath first. All right, excellent. Yeah, well, don't take too long. You know, we only normally live stream for an hour. So if you have any questions, just drop them here, and I'll answer them while you take your bath, and you can watch it in the replay. I'll keep it here. All the live streams are kept on the website for that. Hey, what's going on, man? Good to see you. How's everything going? All right, so we're here now, and what are we looking at? Anyone have suggestions for portable espresso machine? I've used the Flare, it's just not for me, and my wife won't use it. I'm thinking about buying the JX Pro as a grinder, but the machine, I'm kind of at a loss. The current machine is a Profitec 600, so moving that for extended stays is not an option either. Portable espresso machine. I don't know. Anybody know what that's about? Have any ideas? I tend not to like worry about bringing an espresso machine with me when I travel. Like, quite frankly, I don't want to bring an espresso machine when I go somewhere. I really don't even want to bring coffee equipment. Like, those of you who've seen me traveling, like, you know, I don't really like I'll bring coffee for friends or for people that ask and something like that if I can spare the space in my bags. But I tend not to bring anything. Like, I'm not, even if I'm driving, I'm not gonna bring an espresso machine and grinder. That sounds crazy to me. I'm a bit lazy like that. I'd much rather just go out to eat, like, or go out for coffee. Like, if I'm in another city, I want to go out for coffee. I don't want to sit in my hotel room making coffee. I can make coffee all by myself at home. The reason I go out in the world is so that I don't have to be alone at home or home alone, right? All right. Oh, I love this one. Like, just the different colors. Like, you just kind of want to put that poster like right by the register so people they can tell you which way you like it. Like, and that's the thing at Spro, at our retail shop, we never had a condiment bar. And I know some of you guys who are from other parts of the world, that's kind of, you're probably like, well, what's a condiment bar? But here in the United States and a lot of, I think a lot of the Western nations, they have condiment bars. And basically these are places where after you get served the coffee, and then they've got a place station where they have sweeteners and mixers and dairy products that you can add to your coffee. We never did that because I didn't like that idea for many reasons. Part of it was, but the most significant part was the service aspect, right? You're paying me money for coffee. I'm just going to hand it to you. You're just going to do whatever. And that's fine. But I always thought that the important thing for a guest should be the consumption and enjoyment of the beverage. So we wanted to create a world where there was no condiment bar and you would come in and order a coffee. And if you wanted cream and sugar, we'd happily put that there for you. And I think a chart like this would be cool because then you could be a little bit more specific about how you like your coffee. Like, how do you like your coffee? D4. or F5, just a touch of milk, right? Oh, and then, so as far as the other question about what to travel with, Rusty says, My Pressy, they still make that, that's a good question. My Pressy, I don't know. Let's have a look. My Pressy, looks like they do, or is that, where to go? Oh, there it is. My Pressy Twist. This one? Oh, yeah. But still, even for me, that's just too much to carry. Like, I don't want to, I'm really, really sensitive about the weight that I carry on my bags. Like, I've got already enough stuff to, and I'm not really doing any, this thing, I don't do roll-ons either. I don't really like to do roll-ons unless I absolutely have to. I want to check everything. But I'm also doing mostly international travel. So that extra half hour to get your bags, typically a lot of these airports, these international airports are so massive. Like, especially if you fly into Beijing capital is like mega massive. Like, the terminal you arrive in maybe 2 terminals away from the entrance terminal. So you have to walk through this cavernous and quite imperially majestic looking terminal with the red columns. But you have to walk through this massive terminal, get on the train, take it all the way into the main terminal. So by the time that happens, your half hour to claim your bags is totally burned. All right, let's see what else is happening here in the chat group. I think I have some trouble understanding the difference between bitter and sour. Well, not really. It's not that difficult. There's one's bitter, one's sour. So kind of like one, I think maybe the best way to describe it would be one kind of gives you like that super hard dryness on your tongue, whereas the other one makes your cheeks pucker. Right? What do you guys think about that? Chef, what do you think about that? My waters are on 40 ppm TDS. Calcium and magnesium are very low. Test for 1 part per minute each. Is this scale buildup? That is some scary looking scale. Whatever that is, that does not look good. I don't like the green. Like, I haven't seen green scale. Most of the scale that I've seen is white. All right, here we are. This update, I did some experimental. Started the coarsest grind setting of my grinder and worked my way down. So coarsest and going finer. Starting at 31, ending at 8, which choked my machine. For my experiment, I used 12 grams of beans because that looked reasonable. My double basket is supposed to hold 16 to 19 grams. I will include a picture of what 15 gram looks like in said basket. As mentioned, I was using 12 grams, which is weird and not recommended number for a double basket. I kept extracting about 50 to 52 grams of liquid. Am I using the wrong unit of measurement? I thought I was supposed to get 24 grams of espresso. My math skills are quite limited. Help, I just want to make a latte. Oh, that is a deep one. That is a deep question. And how does one answer that? There's just so many variables that need to be controlled. So if we're using she's using 12 grams of beans because that looked reasonable. All kinds of reasons for it. But here's the thing. So you could use, depending on the Portafilter doesn't, if you look at the picture, the Portafilter doesn't look like it holds a tremendous amount to begin with, right? It says 16 to 19 grams. I would say, go with the 12 grams, and if that fits. And you have to find the right way to. So you have to find the right grind that gives enough resistance to the coffee to give you that 24 grams of espresso over 30 seconds, right? So 20 to 30 seconds. So meaning that you're going to take you measure out the 12 grams, grind the coffee fine, put it in the portafilter, distribute temp and all that, lock it in, hit the brew button, hit the timer, and time how long it reaches 24 grams. Stop at 24 grams, taste, and then see how long it took. Taste it. Does it taste good? Does it taste bad? Was it too fast? Did it take 15 seconds, grind a little bit finer. So we're using the grind as resistance to the flow of the water. But that's the problem with like a lot of the questions that I see in the home espresso aficionado or any of the home coffee groups is that they're trying to do a lot with machines that will be capable of doing it, but it's just not as capable as like a more professional type machine or more advanced, more quote unquote more expensive machine, right? Yeah, so that's it. That's good. All right. It's 11 o'clock here in Baltimore, and time for me to go back to painting. I'll be here at the roastery painting and then eventually starting to do our daily roast. I've got a bunch of coffee to roast today for some of our wholesale clients, as well as a bunch of your orders that have come in. So, again, if you'd like to get some coffee, sprocoffee.com. Where's my website? Here it is. Book. There it is. We have coffee subscription. So, if you'd like, sign up. And I'm also working on a revamping of the website to get it to be a little bit more updated, as well as a lot more informational as to what we're doing. So if you need some coffee, yep, right, that's good. Yeah, so I'll be roasting that, and then more painting, and then eventually I'll post some pictures for you guys to see of the new space, as well as the renovation, not the renovation, but the rearrangement of our roasting area. So it's going to give us a lot more space to have training classes and education, which is really kind of what we've been wanting to do for a long time in this space. But yeah, so that's it. Thank you very much for joining me today. I really appreciate you spending the time with me. And if you're watching the replay, thank you very much. Also, drop your thoughts in the comments below. Love to hear them. Any questions for next week? Drop them in the comments below. We'll include them with the show. And yeah, so we'll be back again next week, Tuesday at 10 a.m. Eastern time. So Manila time, that's 10 p.m. on Tuesday. So yeah, or in the United Kingdom, it is 4 p.m. right? 4 p.m. on Tuesdays. So, all right. Until then, thank you very much for tuning in. Really appreciate you spending the time with me. And then